Okay, it looks like we're getting members joining on a board here. So thank you all for joining. Looks like we have a number of viewers here. I'll get started very soon. I appreciate you all joining today. Hey John, thank you for joining. Hey Gerald, what's going on, buddy? I kind of just woke up from my nap here and I was like, oh my gosh, what time is it now? I mean, it's 6:05 p.m. here in the Bay Area. I'm just getting started with the day. So how's everyone doing today? All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. Thank you all for joining. Hey, what's going on, Greg? Thanks for joining, buddy. Where are you from anyways, John, Gerald, and Greg? I'd like to know where you are, like, on the map. Hey, Donna, thank you for joining. I appreciate you joining today's live video here. Yeah, John, I mean, it's very hard pressed, right? I mean, we know that True Forma will be commercialized. You know, it rotations that the ticker will run around that time. However, I'd give it time into like Q2. It's very difficult to forecast when that bull run will come. It would suck though, let's say if you were to like sell now and then later it bull runs. But just give it time, right? We know that Zomedica is taking orders at this time. Oh, okay. So it looks like LH, you're in Pacifica. I'm not too far from Pacifica. SoCal, John, that's cool, man. I mean, which part of SoCal are you from, by the way? I mean, I lived in Southern California for like 5 years when I went to school down there at UC Irvine. I love Southern California. It's warmer than the Bay Area. It's great out there. I mean, I might consider even moving back down to Southern California. However, now I'm in the Bay Area. Okay, Greg, so you're Long Island, New York. Albertsons is a town. That's cool. New York is like one of the greatest cities out there. I mean, I remember going out there like back in 2011, just seeing mainly all taxi cars are like electric vehicles. It's amazing. I mean, the food is great out there. I mean, it's next to New Jersey. You have like the best pizza, thin slice pizza. I mean, it's of like Chicago pizza, but yeah, I just had a great time out there. Miami, Florida. That's sweet. I mean, I had a layover one time in Florida where I just stayed over for one night. Didn't really get to do much. Mainly it was around the Florida area, but all you notice is like palm trees right at 7 in the morning. 5 in the morning, it's like warm already. It's not cold. People are wearing like, you know, just clothes for warm weather, and it's great out there. I mean, you compare like Florida to like Seattle, it's like the total opposite, right? It's whether you like cold weather or warm weather. How did you get the name All I See Is W? Well, good question there. Oh, it looks like you're also from Florida, Donna. That's cool. You know, basically, I mean, W is my sort of branding. In fact, I've just gone through the trademark as well. So I've actually initiated the process for trademarking the brand All I See Is W. I mean, not to say there may be some other copycat that uses that trademark, but I mean, I went with the route of trademarking it, and now it's undergoing review, and I can start, you know, using that branding in many things. But that's really how I got the name. It's not about just winning in the financial market passion for, and now here I am. I mean, just doing things differently. Oh, okay, so Satish, looks like you're from the Bay Area. Which part of the Bay Area? I'm in San Jose, California. You may be like not too far from me, miles away, I would say. LA. Hey, I love the Korean food out there. I mean, it, yeah, it seems like in LA, I mean, the community, at least for the Korean community. It's huge in Los Angeles area. I mean, you go to like San Francisco. I mean, it's kind of blended um, with Japantown and Koreatown put together. Oh, Mountain House. Okay, so you're off of like the 580, close to Tracy. Yeah, that's cool. 580. About discussing QUBT. In fact, I looked at QUBT today, and it seems as though it did have a bull run. Um, for you who don't know what QUBT is, it's called quantum computing. I definitely feel like it's a great undervalued company now. It previously ran up to like $25. This is a company that is working on a software to really drive down complex issues that companies are dealing with. For example, they have a Mukai software that they're working on, and today it actually bull run up by like 20%. We're looking at a 1-year trend chart here. In fact, it did at one point reach up to like $25. Now it's been just going down. I mean, ever since 2021, it's just been taking a downward tumble. However, that's not to say that it's going to spike back up. In fact, it can possibly run up to like $25, $30 coming very soon. So that's just my takeaway with QUBT. I mean, this is the future of technology here with innovation, right? We hear about artificial intelligence, quantum computing. I mean, especially with the United States market competing against other countries, for example, like China, we foresee quantum computing being the name of the game in the future. So let's look at a more zoomed in view here. So as you can see, quantum computing, I mean, back in February, early February, it reached close to like $16, and now it's in the single digit range. I do believe that this ticker can run up. I mean, we barely just saw an upward trend here today where it had gone up by like $1.29. There's increasing volume today, and the question is, will it reach its prior resistance? I firmly believe that it can. Okay, so I hope that I was able to answer your question there. So how's the weather out there right now, Charles? As well as, Donna and Greg over on the East Coast. How's the weather out where you're based out of right now? All right, some other tickers I wanted to share with you. HCMC, I mean, most of the market today was experiencing a downward trend, right? I mean, it was bearish today, and we didn't see too many stocks taking an upward trend. However, with HCMC, oh, that's sweet, 65 degrees. That's like ideal weather. Hey, Christopher, thank you for joining, man. Where are you from, by the way, Christopher? Okay, so it looks like it was raining in Wisconsin. 73 degrees out in Florida. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, that's like amazing springtime weather. I mean, we're hoping for that kind of weather to ramp up in the Bay Area. How's it like in LA right now, John? So Scott, thanks for your comment there. I hope I covered a QUBT there. Definitely an undervalued play right now, so keep an eye on that. I'm just going to go down the list of what I had written down to just kind of go through some tickers. Hey, Matthew. Hey, man, thank you for joining, buddy. I mean, I was looking at your Instagram pictures yesterday. It seems like you got many things going on. So thanks for sharing. I mean, now I know you're based out in Florida as well. Didn't know where your college was, but hey, I hope that your career starts picking up, with your new job and with your investments looking long term with SKYE Bioscience. So let's get it. I mean, quack quack. That's what we do. VA. So that's Virginia, Fredericksburg. Where is that? Is that Virginia, Christopher? Sorry, my state's abbreviation, I'm crappy at that. Walt, Central Coast. Where is that specifically, Walt? With your location on the map right now. New York in the building. What's going on? I mean, there's several folks I believe on here. That's New York. Greg Twits is from New York as well. Oh, definitely. Hey, Euro, thank you so much. I mean, Bngo is definitely value add play. Palantir is definitely a value add play. Thank you so much for sharing that. Curious, I mean, I've seen that ticker, but I don't know too much about it, so thank you for highlighting that. Okay, so by DC, okay, Washington DC. Okay, that's a state I definitely want to visit too. I mean, you always see like the main um, statues and stuff from that area. I've never been out there, but we'll ask for feedback when I do. But hey, everyone, take a look at the insights your artist sharing with us. Bngo, I mean, that company based out in San Diego, they have a Sapphire diagnostic as well. Genomics is really the name of the game right now. I mean, it's going to take off, and like what he's mentioning here, that will most likely double in the next 3 months. So that's coming up very soon. ChargePoint, CHPT, I mean, with electrical vehicles rolling out, that's definitely going to increase as well. So let's take a look at what our buddy Euro is sharing with us here. Very undervalued, I would say, right? I mean, we're looking at Smart Score from TD Ameritrade. It's having this stock as an outperform here, right? In fact, I know a person who works at ChargePoint, high level position, and the fact that the share price did previously reach up to like mid 40 and now it's at $22. I mean, this is definitely undervalued here. Looking at a long-term perspective, I mean, if you can get it buying on the dip here, I mean, it's been dropping since December timeframe, so now is a good time to get in. Dollar cost average down if you are an existing investor, or if you're trying to take an investment play with ChargePoint, it will definitely add value in the future. So thank you for sharing that, Gerard. I mean, I agree with you that CHPT will make a run. Next one is Bngo. This ticker, I remember I was making content on this when it was like before the huge run, when it was like $5, and then it reached all the way up to like $11, and now it's creating a floor at the $9, $8. It can definitely run back up and run up even further. So this is definitely a value add play, I would say. And while you're sharing these tickers, I'm going to take some notes as well, because I don't know all of these plays, and I'm learning from all of you, and we're all sharing information too. So let's get into that habit of sharing information, because as a Quack Squad here, we're here to add value, and we're here to share information. So thank you, and everyone, thank Euro for sharing that. Walt Houghton. Okay, so Santa Maria, California, between Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo. Okay, so you're off of the 101, close to like State Street. I've been around State Street. That's off of the 101, close to UCSB. Very, very nice area. Definitely see dolphins. I remember seeing dolphins lunging as a pack, like just sitting by the cliff and just watching the beautiful Pacific Ocean, and then just seeing like dolphins just lunging. It's beautiful. APYP, sleep apnea. Oh, definitely. I mean, thank you for sharing that. We'll take a look at that ticker as well. I haven't done any research on that company, but we'll definitely look further into that. Okay, so here we have Nano Genomics, looking at a 3-year range. I mean, it did reach its prior resistance, as you can see here, October. From a 3-year trend chart, it's definitely going to run up to like $25. I mean, definitely with this play, Nano Genomics, the fact that Nano Genomics is like working on cancerous diagnostic products, they have the Sapphire to detect for like COVID. This is going to change how we look at science, and this San Diego small cap company is going to shape how we look at healthcare, and it's really going to help physicians be able to diagnose cancers early on. Another alternative is TDSGF, so that's like a company based out in Canada where they have a TeloView software to look at telomeres. So if you're into the science play, take a look at TDSGF as well. Currently undervalued at this time. Yeah, I mean, Kyle, I mean, it can take a floor of like 160. I'm totally with you there. I'm 100% with you. I mean, the fact that it ran up from like single digit 6 cents. Okay, so let's backtrack back to Zomedica here. The fact that it was at 6 cents back in October, right? November, December. I was recommending to get in Zomedica at 6 cents, and it bull runned all the way up to like 250, 280. That's huge gains. You know, the fact that it gained so much, it can reach that baseline floor of like 160. I agree with you. It's going to, experience some resistance from bears. Bears are trying to get involved with this because there's so much volume trading with Zomedica at this time. You know, the fact that there's high expectations with getting True Pharma released, share price is expected to increase, and this is causing a lot of concern with current holders at this time, because why is the share price dropping? Well, because the bears are in, there's more sellers than buyers. However, with its catalyst of True Pharma, let's say if there's like partnerships with Banfield, then that can reverse trend this company forward. And if held long term, I do see this as a double-digit share price stock. Wow, Kyle, I mean, you're doing it right, man. I mean, I don't want to talk about Zomedica. I mean, I've gone through aches and pains. I could have gained like 700K on that play, but I don't want to discuss that further. But still, just share my insights with value add plays. But definitely, it can take some floor at the 160 before the run up. Definitely, I'm with you 100% there. All right, so looks like there's more people joining in today. Christopher, I can be patient and wait for you to get to it, but has RLX bottomed out, and KMPH has great fundamentals, had good news, but it came out on a bad day. Okay, so let me go ahead and take note of that. So there's RLX, KMPH. Okay, so everyone pay attention to these tickers that everyone's asking about, because if someone's asking about it, either there's value in the company and there's potential to gain on positive proceeds with these plays. Okay, so RLX is based out in China. The ticker is RLX. Market cap of like 16 billion, so it's a fairly large company. It has a neutral rating. Its volume is like up in the 18 million. Its 52-week range is at $10 to $35. So if you look at a 1 year spread, getting in now would be much better than getting in like about a year ago. Now if we zoom out, this was like at $22, so not much details there. So I would say that it is a good price point to get in at, right? I mean, the fact that it's dropped more than 60%, it's dropped in value over the course of like several weeks. I would say that, a dollar cost averaging down or making an investment in this company would be a value add, but just please make sure to understand its business strategy, do your research, understand what is it about this company that can add value, right? Is there a demand for its product or service? What's so unique about this company that can allow for it to position for success? But currently, I mean, the fact that it's much lower than where it was before, it's gone down by like 66% from a 52-week perspective, and definitely going to gain value in the long term. Okay? Hey baby, thanks for joining. John, Oh shoot, what's going on, John? I like that picture of Curry there. It's the Shiba Inu. Woof woof. All right, so I hope you're doing well, John. Hope Curry is doing well as well. Okay, so Gerald here, Sky Bioscience will participate in a virtual panel discussion and present a corporate overview at the Benzinga Biotech Small Cap Conference on Thursday, March 25th, 2021. So yeah, that's very exciting. Thank you for reiterating that. There's going to be a conference, a small cap life science conference that will be going on Thursday with CEO Puneet Dillon and Vice President of Investor Relations Karam will be presenting during that time frame. So take a look at that. You know, you can register. I'm actually registered to be part of that presentation. I'd like to see the marketing campaign overview of that ticker and just see where we're at in terms of the company's position. But we will soon be entering Q2. I mean, I'm talking about Sky Bioscience, a company that's focused on creating a bioengineered product intended to be used for patients dealing with glaucoma. They're just on a marketing campaign right now, getting exposure of its products because it can add value in the field of ophthalmology, helping advance medical unmet needs for patients with glaucoma. And they also have other products that they are researching at this time with support from the University of Mississippi as well as its scientific committee supporting its research. For example, Stanford University, Mount Sinai, University of Italy, University of Spain, working together to see different indications of use with its product. So it's very exciting. I mean, I actually got my eye exam yesterday where I got prescriptions, evaluation, had a comprehensive view of my whole entire eye. Fortunately, I mean, the whole profile of my eye, there's nothing wrong with the optic nerve right now. And then I was asking, I was like, hey, you ever deal with patients with glaucoma? And then my doctor was like, yes, all the time. And then I asked her about, hey, what's your take with like cannabis use on reduction in intraocular pressure? And my doctor just went on a whole like just detailed response on that, just stating that THC does reduce intraocular pressure reduction. However, with CBD that may be a little bit different. However, she's firmly believing that THC does provide a drop in the IOP levels, which prevents the optic nerve damage. And what's interesting is the fact that this is bioengineered. It doesn't provide that therapeutic effect. So that's what's going to add value, at least for patients who truly need to have reduction in the IOP and neuroprotection. So that's what Sky Bioscience can deliver. And she was asking about Sky because she has no clue about this company working on trying to advance the health in glaucoma patients. So I shared that with her, and we'll be looking forward to more exposure in this hidden gem company out in San Diego. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. I mean, IBIO, great twits. It seems like you have high conviction in IBIO. I mean, this company, I mean, you look at their website, they are, hiring so many different positions right now in IBIO, and it definitely can run. Um, so I agree with you there. I mean, having that conviction, knowing what stocks to invest in, it's currently undervalued, and I feel like it can run up significantly coming soon. So what do I think about SNDL? I feel like Weibo is mostly trying to draw up some hype by putting it under other tickers, just like so many companies. So Kyle K, I mean, SNDL is undervalued right now. I mean, the fact that, in the NAFTA agreement, right? I mean, Canada, it's legal. United States, it's legal. Mexico, it's legal. This is going to run up huge. And this ticker, I was recommending at 40 cents, and it peaked all the way up to like 220. And now it's back down to like 121. The question is, can it run up to its prior resistance? We can't forecast when that will happen, but it's a matter of when in terms of when the share price will reach above the $2 threshold, which can come very soon. I mean, it would be great if you were to like get in back in early December timeframe when it was like at the low 40 cents. You would have gained like by like 500% gains, and take your selling point here. One of my good friends in Seattle, I mean, he got in when I recommended it at 40 cents. He got out above the 180 range when he noticed a dip there. The fact that it's dropped more than 66%, and the fact that it's gone over several weeks already, you can take an investment in this company because you're getting it much cheaper, right? Rather than getting it at the high point before the downward trend pull. So that's my takeaway with the Sundial Growers. I mean, this company based out in Canada, it's part of the healthcare system, and we know that cannabis is the name of the game right now, especially if you are trying to bridge the gap between pharmaceuticals and cannabis healthcare use. This can definitely add value in the long term. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check out the KMPH now. That was what was asked about. So let me take a look at that ticker and see what we can draw. What conclusions can we draw from Chem Pharma? All right, so Chem Pharma. Okay, so this is not too big of a company, right? Its market cap is around 284 million. Today it dropped by like 6%. In terms of 52-week high, it went from like $194 to $22, right? So towards the end of December, when we got into January, it reached a floor around like the $6. It's been trending up, getting back what it previously lost when it was close to like $20. So we see upward trend here, and the fact that Chem Pharma was awarded U.S. patent on the specific prodrug it's working with, compositions comprising methylphenidate prodrugs, process of making and using the same. This potentially might be the reason why it's adding and gaining in share price value at this time. Let's take a look at a 3-year date range. Okay, so back in like 2019, I mean, this was hovering like close to like $50. When you pull back a little bit further, April, I mean, this was $100 share price stock, right? I mean, if you're thinking about planting the seeds, you have high conviction in this company. If you see that this company has products in clinical trials, there's not too much risk involved. And when you look at serious adverse event reporting, are there any reports with serious injuries reported by the clinical investigator that's sponsoring this company? But the sponsor would have to have less than $50,000, otherwise that would be a bias research. But that's all regulated already. But take a look to see if there's any serious adverse event reporting. What classification product is this, right? Is it a high risk classification product? If so, how many adverse events are there that's reported? If there's not too many, then that's a good sign. I mean, percentage held by institutions is at 7.82. That's fairly similar to like SKYE Bioscience. So I definitely feel like it's undervalued. That's my takeaway with SKYE there. Take a look into Delta 8. It's pretty interesting and new to the market. I enjoy vaping, but it comes in other forms. Hey, Kyle, if you can share the ticker, I'd love to pull that up and we can do more deep dive analysis. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and continue on here and just share with you other tickers that I have on my list. And towards the end of this live video, I will add descriptions of additional tickers that we've covered after this is over, and I'll share those tickers with you in the description. Okay, now Riot Blockchain, I mean, this is a ticker that has just bull run. I mean, it had gone up from like $8 all the way up to like $77. I mean, it bull run, right? While Bitcoin price rises, Riot Blockchain price and share price valuation will rise as well. But today it dropped by like 10%. That's all dependent on the market just taking a downward pull. However, it's going to gain in future valuation. I mean, you look at it now with $50. I was recommending it at like 39 like several weeks back. It rushed up to like $65, so that's like close to like 100% in positive proceeds. But let's say if you're trying to play long term, if you have high conviction in Bitcoin, then you can consider purchasing investments of Riot Blockchain. That's part of the small cap growth software based companies where they're mining for Bitcoin. This company is based out in New York. It has high volume of share trading. I mean, today, although it wasn't as heavy, it reached up to like 18 million in share price trading, right? And looking at the 52-week range, I mean, it was at 1.63 cents and rushed up to like $79. So there you can see the potential that this company has. Okay, yeah, all right, Kyle. Thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, I mean, that's uh, that's definitely the industry right now, right? I mean, cannabis industry is just going to grow year over year. The paradigm shift is happening. I mean, that's why I mean I like looking into that company. It's similar to like Bitcoin, right? When Bitcoin was first announced, like at like $7 per coin. I mean, most people didn't even know if there's any value in that company. But imagine if you got into Bitcoin like at $7 and holding on to those coins, where now it's like at 60K, 55K. That's just huge. All right, so just feel free to add any tickers along the way so we all can learn, and then we can do our research here and go from there. The next ticker I wanted to share with you, it's basically the number one stock, I would say. I mean, that's classified on bar chart as well. Top 100 play, top number one ticker is Kirkland. If you're wondering what Kirkland is all about, right, this is a company that's working in the specialty retail space, part of Costco, and the share price in terms of 52-week range high, it went up to like $33 at one point. It was at 67 cents and it ramped all the way up to $33. Today it took a 11% drop. However, if you're going long term with this company, it's just going to grow, right? I mean, the fact that it's partnered up with Costco, it's going to continue running. And based on ratings, I mean, it has a recommendation of hold from the street. So I firmly believe that this company will continue to bull run. There's a reason why it's on the top 10 list of all tickers in the United States. That's Kirkland. All right, so there's more questions coming in here, right? So any updates with TDSGF price target? You know, I have high conviction that with TDSGF, it's going to definitely reach its prior resistance, getting up to like the $1. But let's take a look at that TDSGF. All right, today it took a downward pull, but at one point it rushed up close to like 90 cents, right? And as you can see, like towards week 2 of February, it went up to like 90 cents. This is a company that's similar to Nano Genomics. However, they have different product lines, but Genomics has a software called TiloView, where physicians take a sample from a patient, they put it into the software, into a device, and then the device will do its analysis, and then the output will go into a software, TiloView, and physicians will look at the patient's profile to look at telomere analysis and then make determinations on whether you are diagnosed with cancer, and if so, what's the severity of the cancer. Are you in early stage? And this is not specific to like one type of cancer. It's a broad approach where it's focused on multiple cancers, more than like 15 in the double digit cancer profile. Now, from a share price standpoint, if we're looking at a 3-month date range here, right? I mean, it's definitely going to just increase in the long term. 52-week range was 3 cents to 114, so that's huge. I mean, let's say if you were to get in like early January when it was at the low price point. One thing to keep in mind is the volume traded here, right? I mean, it's quite low. However, I do feel like it's undervalued at this time, so taking an investment at this time would be a great opportunity, right? So that's my takeaway with TDSGF. Okay, so Wilma, there's input from you. Thank you for commenting here. Okay, CCIV. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull that up. Okay, CCIV. I mean, I hear a lot about CCIV here. Today, share volume with trading was quite low. I mean, it was in the 23 million. This is a $6 billion market cap company, so there's probably less than 1,000 employees, I would say. Share price is around $24. At one point, it reached nearly close to $60, right? I mean, CCIV, almost $60, and then it just took a downward trend here. I would say people who took profits up here at the time when it reached $60, who had high conviction in CCIV, took a stop loss, right? And I would say at least 30% of prior CCIV investors got in at this time here when the share price dropped down to like $30, but got in quite early, right? And then experienced the downward fall here. And then share price went up and it's ticking down again. I would say from a share price standpoint, I mean, this is definitely undervalued. The fact that it bull run up to like $64, it's dropped more than 66% of its share price, and it's been several weeks already, actually like months. It's a great opportunity to either dollar cost average down or consider, taking an investment play in this company, right? Because it will increase. And the key thing to look at is percentage held by institutions, right? I mean, 51%, so half of shares available are owned by institutions. So that just tells you something, right, with CCIV. So that's my takeaway currently with this play here. Although, it comes with risk as well. So just make sure you understand what you're investing in. Again, understand what the company's business strategy is, what's its financials. But this is just basically looking at the technicals and just data that we're seeing at this time. Okay, so I hope that helped Wilma answer your questions. If you have any other additional tickers, please feel free to share it with you. Let's say if you have any high conviction plays, please share it in the chat so that we all can learn and we can discuss further about it. All right, so next ticker I wanted to share with you is a company that's based out in California as well, and it's in the OTC market, right? We know OTC has been taking a hit in February and March. However, that's not to say that it won't come back, right? Because these are where all the microcap companies are based in, and if the product innovation is there, then these companies will grow in value in the long term. All right, so taking a look at Interscope Hearing Technologies, unfortunately, it took an 8% drop. The market cap is around 70 million, right? With its 52-week high, it reached 9 cents gain at one point in February, and it took a downward trend here, losing about more than 66%. It's been several weeks out. At one point, week 1 of March, it did gain back up close to above 3 cents. It's been taking a downward toll. However, I feel like it's only a matter of when this company will blast off. The inflection point will come. I mean, the fact that this company is part of the e-commerce business strategy, business to consumer model, similar to like Warby Parker, where with Warby Parker's profile, you can go online, you can look at different frames that they supply, and it doesn't cost an arm or a leg to buy, glass frames, because when you go to like your typical lens crafter or any optometry store available, I mean, yeah, you pay the copay with your insurance, but that only covers like $120 off of frames. Most of the frames in the stores are like high quality branded name companies. So even with insurance coverage, you're still paying like 60% out of your pocket. Let's say if you buy a frame like that's costing like $400, I mean, only $120 coverage on that, and you're paying like at least like $300-400 on like prescription glasses. However, with Warby Parker's model, you buy a frame, you can do reimbursement with out-of-pocket network, and that'll cover most of the payment with glasses there. And the fact that it allows for you to ship products to your house directly to try on samples, that just tells you that everything's all virtual. You don't even have to go on site. You can upload your prescription glasses, and that's how the business works. And with Warby Parker Style, I mean, I love their website. I don't even know if there's a share price for Warby Parker, but looking at that business model, that's how they're able to add value to society, and that's why they're gaining so much recognition at this time. For those in the LA-based area, I mean Los Angeles, there's actually optometry stores that's in network with Warby Parker. But in the Bay Area, there's no company that works with Warby Parker, so I'd have to go to an optometry store, get my prescription, and then upload that to the website. So similar to like Interscope Hearing Technologies, they're following like the Warby Parker strategy. In fact, they created an app called Hear IQ. So let's say if you were to purchase one of their hearing devices, because let's say if you're having hearing problems where you have hearing impairment, where you need a medical device to enhance the sound inputs, right, in your ear, then you can purchase Interscope Hearing Technologies product line, whether it's on Amazon or Walmart, at like half the cost of like traditional products right now. And once you receive it in the mail, like through like Amazon, sending that to your place directly home in-house, then you can, you know, open up the box, try it on, and then download the app on the Apple Store or the Google Store, and then program the device to your needs, to your preferential needs. And that really cuts out the middleman, right? Having to go to the physician's office, having to wait in line, having to schedule that. So it just takes away the cycle time for you as a patient. And let's say if you don't really want to spend so much on a durable good item, I mean, these things can be quite expensive, right? But with Interscope Hearing Technology, its product is way more cheap than its traditional competitors like ear. And that's why I have firm belief that if held long term, I'm actually a holder of this company as well. It will gain in significant share price value. So that's my takeaway. I mean, in terms of volume, it's a well-known company, right? Even though it's a micro-cap company at 104 million shares traded. I definitely do see that this company will gain compliance with the SEC where it makes the payments. It has already established itself as an entity with the Food and Drug Administration as a Class 2 medical device. So that just tells you it's planning for the future, and that's why planting the seeds now can definitely help you in the long run. I mean, looking at this news here back in March, about a week ago, INND launches a free self-administered hearing test and self-fitting hearing aid app for Apple and Android devices. Okay, INND signs joint collaboration and reseller agreement with GTX Corp. So as you can see, they're working with GTX to ramp up commercial sales of its product. So in fact, on Twitter today, it actually had an agreement purchase order of like $550,000 worth of its products being sold. So that's a great start, as you can see. Will be ATIF done well. There are numerous times we'll be implementing blockchain technology as well as becoming a SPAC play because they have an exploratory committee for this purpose. They also have the asset management component of their company now, which will bring in more clients. This is a financial service company, ATIF. Thank you so much for that, Greg. I will monitor that and take note. And also SRMX, thank you so much. Hey, Jerry, I appreciate that. I'm just learning as I go. I mean, we're all here just sharing information. So thoughts on Sorrento, INO, Vaxar, VBIV? Definitely, yeah, we'll take a look at all that, and we will dive deeper, okay? But first off, I just wanted to check out the next ticker here, SRMX, Sataranch Media. Okay, so this looks like it's in the LTC market. It's at 0003. At one point it got up above 2 cents. It's experiencing high volumes of trading at this time. It got close to like 2 cents, and then it was at 0001 at one point in February. Bull run up. I mean, if you have high conviction in this play here, then you can take an investment. I would say not to put all your eggs into this basket here, right? But definitely entertainment is an area that has been growing. I mean, it's similar to like BOXL. We know with COVID, there's a lot more software usage. There's entertainment demands growing with Netflix, Hulu, all the different service providers out there. I don't know the specific details of what Saddle Ranch Media provides, but looking at a 6-month trend chart here, we do see that it's dropped more than 66% of its value at the time when it reached up to like 2 cents. Now it's back at the 0.005. The question is it a good opportunity? I mean, even with investing, right, if you find companies that are value add, where you do see that the company can add value with its product and service, in the long run, it can gain in the share price value. So take a small investment play on this, and you know, it's way more undervalued than like buying it like weeks after the big run up, right? I mean, most people are like in the 0.01 range right now, but if you can get it at 0.005, you're in good shape. So I hope that helps answer your question, Zinador. All right, so I'm interested in what Greg has provided us. So everyone, take a look at Greg's comment, and you know, it can definitely add value. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so today it dropped by 15%. I mean, it at one point reached a floor of like $1. So you would have gained on significant positive proceeds before this V-shape up. Where we are today, I mean, this is a $74 million capital company, right? Its 52-week range was 65 cents. At one point got up to like 365. Today it took a downward drop. Let's say if you are invested in this company and you have high conviction, I mean, buying a dip at a 15% drop definitely does help. Looking at a 1-year trend chart, I mean, back in July it was above the $2 threshold. It's been picking up. And 3-week trend chart here, I mean, at one point it was like $4, and now it's slowly ticking back up. So I say that this is undervalued at this time because it has the power potential of what it's been at before with its share price value, and with Greg's input here about how it will be implementing blockchain technology as well as becoming a SPAC play because they have an exploratory committee for this purpose. That can all add value in the future. So take that as a value add information. They also have the asset management component for their company now, which will bring in more clients, and this is this financial service company. So thank you, Greg, for sharing that, and I'm sure all of us are going to benefit from that if we do consider this as an investment play. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Sorrento Therapeutics, okay, led by Henry G., CEO. This company is based out in San Diego. They're working on a number of products, whether it's in antiviral treatments, vaccines, protein production for COVID, and even diagnostics to test whether you have the COVID-19 on variant strains as well. I mean, back in like 2020, the share price was like at $1, right? And then it's ramped all the way up to like $25 at one point. However, now it's at the $9. I do feel like it's undervalued and that it will reach its prior resistance, getting back into the high double-digit share price range, right? In terms of institutions, right? A quarter of the shares that are owned are held by institutions. So that just tells you that institutions have high conviction in Sorrento Therapeutics, this biotechnology company that's $2.6 billion in market size capital, and that it can grow significantly. So Sorrento Therapeutics is a high quality company, right? And let's look at some news that was released. I mean, Bngo, biotech small cap conference scheduled for tomorrow. I believe Sorrento may be presenting there, perhaps, which is why it's explained here. Sorrento announces first patient treated with phase 1B AL amyloidosis trial with STI 6129. So it has a number of different products that's adding value right now. Although the question is, when will the share price increase? It may take some risk within the coming weeks. However, we just can't really time that. But if you're holding this long term, planting the seeds, it can fruit for you where you gain huge, where like you can gain like 200% gains, right? So I hope that helps answer your question there, Jerry, on one ticker. But I will cover Inovio, Vaxart, and VBIV as well, just to give folks some insight with Inovio Pharmaceuticals. I mean, Bank of America news has just been released with Inovio Pharmaceuticals. I don't know the specifics, but just hearing that you're working with high quality life science companies as well as financial institutions, that just tells you that Inovio is positioning itself to work with high quality companies that have the money to back them up. So as a result, the 15 DNA products that are being researched at this time through clinical trials, mostly in phase 2 clinical trials, it can add value. And with VXRT, I mean, headway phase 2 into clinical trials. I mean, even though we know the COVID-19 space is saturated with so many competitors, right? I mean, there still will be market share that can be gained from those in this market. So for this reason, VXRT, with its unique mode of delivery, taking an oral pill medication as opposed to taking a bolus delivery, that takes away the potential for, like, you know, having pain at the site of injection. So that's why VXRT is monopolizing the mode of delivery, taking an oral pill form. And if it can demonstrate safety and efficacy over time, share price can gain huge. VXRT is definitely undervalued right now. I mean, at the $6-7 price point, it can run up. So let's not lose sight of the Vaxart profile in terms of future valuation. VBIV is bringing in return on cash flow at this time, right? It's not only working on a COVID-19 solution, but it's also focusing on the Hep B, where it's already commercialized in Israel. It already filed marketing authorization in Europe, as well as in the United States. So we know that hepatitis B, a very systemic disease that's impacting a large number of patients all around the world, even though there's already a commercial product for that. I mean, why is it that the number continues to increase? Maybe we don't have an effective product. If and when VBIV rolls out its product line with Hep B and can demonstrate effectiveness and safety characteristics, it can gain in market share at $3.40. I firmly believe that it can reach its prior resistance of like $6 coming very soon. So that's my takeaway, Jerry. So I hope that helps answer any questions, and I hope that provided insight there for the tickers that you were inquiring about. All right, so yeah, great. Thank you for sharing that with ATIF, with you being able to gain on positive proceeds there, and I appreciate you sharing that back to the Quack Squad here so that we can all learn. All right, so Matthew, what's going on, man? Robinhood filed a confidential IPO a couple of hours ago. What do you think that will be? Okay. Yeah, I don't have much insight, but anyone that's listening in right now, please take a look at Matthew's comment and provide any feedback there. I'm unfamiliar with that information, but would love to get more insight with everyone's input. I'm sure, you know, it'll just be all like sharing dialogue here, but you never know. I mean, there might be some insights people are going to be asking about from you. Hi, Faye. Thank you for joining. SOS. No, we have not, and that was actually not even part of the list that I have here, but let me note that down. I mean, I've been seeing SOS discussed about a lot, but yeah, let's take a look now. And thanks for joining the live session here. I appreciate that. All right, so SOS, based out in China, it's a New York Stock Exchange company. It's getting close to the 1 billion market cap, so it's growing, even though it's still a micro cap, small cap company. 52-week range was at 83 cents. So this company has been performing very well. I mean, its 52-week high is at close to like $16. So there's definitely value here in this company, right? I mean, at 648 compared to where it was 1588, that's a huge drop off, more than 66%. looking at a 6-month trend chart here, back in mid-February, it ramped up double-digit share price, and it took a downward pullback to like $5. And here we see consistent upward trends, even though we see noisy data of like fluctuations here. It has a volume of like 28 million. In terms of smart score, it has outperform rating, so that looks solid there. So folks who want to take a play, I mean SOS can add value potentially. Looking at its 3-year profile as well as 52-week range. I mean, back in Q3 of 2019, at one point got up to like $30. The question is, can it run back up to its prior resistance? It can, and that would indicate that you would gain on like 400-500% on positive proceeds right there. So that's huge. Hey Robbie, thank you for joining, buddy. Everyone, MAGA, definitely someone to look up to as well. MAGA has very good insight. I mean, he shared TCAT. TCAT was a ticker that he shared about like 1 or 2 weeks ago. It's been just bull running. Today, not so much, but yesterday went up another 100%. But TCAT is like a company that's just been gaining so much value. So Faye, I hope that answers any questions, but definitely undervalued at this time, right? When you look at the prior resistance, I mean, it dropped more than like 66%. So buying in now, you won't feel that bad knowing that you bought it at like a 66% discount over a number of weeks. So that's very value add when it comes to investing at the right time. So let's see. Next up is... Yeah, Jerry, thank you for sharing that. I mean, with your strategy there, I mean, I definitely feel like holding long term is definitely going to be the way that you gain on positive proceeds. And I would say just be strong about it. And, if you aren't able to handle the risk and reallocate certain times. Okay, so let me pull that up. TCAT. Takung Art, a company based out in Hong Kong, a small cap company. Today gained up by like 10%, but just look at this 1 month range here. This was like below like the $5, and it ramped up all within weeks, all the way up to like mid $55. Let's look at a 5-day chart. I mean, back in like March 17th, it was like at the single digits, and then it ramped all the way up to $70. Can you believe that? From like 70 cents to $74. This looks like a Riot Blockchain move, but it happened within weeks. And Takung Art shares are trading higher on continued momentum as the stock is being circulated as a potential non-fungible token play, NFT. So there you go. I mean, anything that has that name of NFT, people are just going to have their money flowing into areas that have the name like Bitcoin, blockchain, NFT. So everyone thank MAGA for that. All right. So today it even went up by like another 10% there. But this company has just been bull running. I mean, just look at that beautiful trend. I mean, it didn't like catapult vertically up, but it's been, just growing from like 315 up through like just within a week, that's it. So that's huge. Okay, so it is an NFT stock. So definitely this ticker was just amazing. I mean, right when MAGA brought that up, I mean, let's say if you were to just go into the computer and your phone and just click away with the buy, you would have gained by like 200-300% right there from your investment. So I appreciate Ronnie MAGA for providing that information to folks here. And it seemed like at the time when that information was shared, the next day there was some members on here that was able to gain on that play. So thank you, MAGA, once again for that. So I just think of TCAT every time when I see it running. I think of your recommendation. All right, so next up I wanted to share with you is IWPR. Ideal Power, so IPWR. So today it dropped by like 12%, right? This is a solar-based company, electrical equipment, industrial company. It's a small cap company at 72 million. Its 52-week range is like 153 to like $25. It dropped more than 50% already. I mean, looking at a 3-month trend chart, week 1 of February, it ramped up to like $25, and now it's dropping down to $12.85, right? It has a neutral rating. It has 12% held by institutions, and the question is, when will solar pick back up, right? I have firm belief that solar, I mean, if held long term, will gain on huge gains. So this is one ticker just to share with you. Ideal Power, not to lose sight of. Okay, if you're into the solar plays. So next up, I wanted to share with you that's also in the solar arena is Sunworks. Okay, this isn't SunPower, but this is Sunworks, SUNW. It's in the NASDAQ market, small cap company. It's been trading in the 2.2 million volume. Today it has an institution percent hold of like 7%. 52 range was 29 cents, ramped all the way up to $30. The fact that it's dropped more than 66%, you can get it at a discount. It previously ran towards week 3 of January all the way up to like $25. It's now down to the $13, so definitely undervalued at this time. It has a rating of 6, and in the long term, I feel like it can reach its prior resistance again. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because this type of company will have those jumpy reactions just because solar is the name of the game right now. Next ticker I wanted to share, please feel free to leave any other ticker plays. We can share that information on the screen here. Are you pivoting towards any of reopening stocks or holding the line with biotech, EV, and some of the speculative OTCs? I've been debating about getting in on airlines, cruise stocks, etc. Jerry, thank you for that question. I mean, that's a great question. I mean, looking back, I mean, even before COVID-19, back in 2020 of like January, I allocated everything into like American Airlines. I purchased the share price at like $31. This was before like COVID-19 came out. Once COVID-19 came out, all of the airlines took a hit. All of the entertainment plays, cruise stock plays, all took a hit. For example, Dave & Buster's took a hit, went all the way down to $8. But look at it now. I mean, it's gained all the way up to like $46. American Airlines went all the way down to $8. If you had high conviction where you thought it was undervalued buying in at $8, I mean, you would have gained so much in positive proceeds, because American Airlines is at around like $23 now. Southwest at the time, it was like $28. Now it's up $60. So definitely airlines will grow. But just know that when you make the investment, you won't be able to maximize the quantity of shares, similar to when, you know, it was about a year ago if you were planning on getting into those plays. So it's all dependent on you. Risk would be low, I would say, because these companies are picking up, policies are changing, there's going to be revenue coming in, people are kind of taking on that risk of traveling more, and it's going to be a globalized market. People will start moving more and businesses will start opening. So that's where I see it. But when it comes to electric vehicles, biotech, automation, NFTs, Bitcoin, digital currency, automation, artificial intelligence, companies that can provide disruptive technology with a competitive advantage, that's where the money is at. So just try to understand where's the money flowing into now. I mean, we look years on back, oil was the big play, right? Well, now it's more like around like energy, right? Similar to when we looked at the ticker early on, CHPT, right? The charge point technology. That's like an accessory to electric vehicles, right? So while electric vehicle companies ramp up, like Neo and Tesla, CHPT will ramp up as well, because without CHPT, companies won't be able to have electric vehicles all around the world. So it's an accessory. So that's how I see it. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so Thanks, Jerry, for SIRC. I'll make note of that and I'll pull that up right now. SIRC. Okay, solar integrated roofing. Okay, so where it's at now at 80 cents. Okay. It had a 52-week range of $3. At one point it was 1 cent. Wow, this is amazing just seeing it bull run all the way up to the whole dollar share price range, and it's lost more than 60% of its share price valuation. It's been weeks of bleeding out. This is definitely undervalued at this time. Just depends on how great the product is, right? So if you see potential in its financials, right, where year over year it's bringing in money, it's not burning its cash flow, its burn rate is controlled, and it has a product differentiation, I would say just take an investment play. I mean, 80 cents isn't quite bad, right? Let's say if it ramps all the way up to its prior resistance and it can go beyond that up to like $5 to $10, hey, you're making big time value. We can't predict how it will likely look in the future, but what if it just starts running solar integrated roofing? Similar play is like Single Point. I mean, I actually hold a position in Single Point as well based on its financials. It's also in this OTC market. It has lots of volume of shares traded. It's a $57 million cap company. 52-week range was 0.002, went all the way up to like 8 cents. But now it's been bleeding out to like 2 cents weeks out, so it's lost more than 66% of its share price. So taking on an investment play while it's undervalued before the ramp up can add value. Once it goes up to 4 cents, you're gaining 100% on proceeds there. So definitely. So with Noose AZFL, I mean, today it ran all the way up. It ran 50% today. So those of you who don't know what AZFL is, take a look at Noose's comment here. All right, it's to his point, cannabinoid extraction company going current in 2 days on March 25th. Massive run up is just beginning. Price target of 10 cents in the short term on a bull run up. Medium to long term, a $1 stock. So AZFL today ran up by 50% today while the market was just in the red, right? So definitely a well-known company right now in the pink market. It got close to like 400 million shares traded today, right? I mean, its 52-week high was in the 00 up to like 006. Now it's getting close to round up to like the 1 cent range. So that's looking huge with the potential that this company can provide. And in here, as you can see, there's different news. AZFL announces reorganization and new business direction. AZFL announces organization of new lab subsidiary. So there's pictures on Twitter where you see its factory. You'll see that if you look further in Amazonas Floresto Ltd. But definitely cannabis is the name of the game right now. The fact that it's a cannabinoid extraction play, it can add so much value. Yes, you're welcome, Faye. I mean, it's not tickers that I'm picking up. It's all of you that's really sharing this information and adding value to those who have that interest as well. Okay, so Matthew, Rolls-Royce Ricey, they make the engines for the new plane called the Airbus A350 that is replacing the Boeing 777, and travel is ramping back up with vaccines rolling out. Was $8 pre-COVID. Wow. Okay, so Ricey, I have a friend who works at Tesla, and he's been just talking about Ricey so much. I mean, works on the assembly line with components, you know, the cells that go into the Tesla. I mean, there's like 5 to 10 cells you have to like assemble together. They're huge and heavy, and I mean, Ricey, I mean, the fact that it's going to be making an engine component for this company, for Boeing, that's huge news, right? Because when you look at the makeup of an airplane, I mean, components from an airplane comes from all around the world. You have a lot of parts come from Japan. The back wing would come from China. I mean, some parts come from the United States. Some parts come from like Europe, Germany. All of these suppliers are making these components so that it can be built onto airline companies. And just hearing this kind of news here, I mean, with what Matthew had shared, that's just big time news. And the fact that it previously ran up close to $2 and now it's going down to like 148, it's definitely undervalued, right? I mean, if you look at a 3-month range here, buying below the 150 threshold, you're at a good state compared to those who are in at like 180, 185, 150 back in like early January. So definitely a value I'd play. It has a 6 score rating. Rolls-Royce 2021 performance faces various challenges. Okay, Ricey Holdings Bergen engine sale blocked by Norway government. So as you can see, it's attempting to roll out its product globally. So that's great news. And where it's at right now, I mean, at 148 in the OTC, that means this company is adding big time value in the space that it's in right now. So thank you for sharing that, Matthew. I will make note of that as well, so I can add that to the description of the live channel once we're done. Hey, JMC Jin, thank you for joining. Yes, we're all here doing well, just sharing information, just going through research on different company plays here. So if you have any stocks to share, please provide that information and we can discuss further. Now, next ticker I wanted to share with you, while we talk about just airlines. There's one company. I mean, I was actually at the mall like yesterday, and I saw a solo vehicle. Company is Electrica Mechanica Vehicles. The car has 2 wheels in the front and 1 wheel in the back. What's interesting is that it was a display car, and they're actually taking sales orders in California, Arizona, and other states as well. It has a known volume with share trading. I mean, up in the 7 million. That's quite high. It has 545 million market size cap. At one point, looking back at a 52-week range, it was at 90 cents. It ramped up to like $13. So can you imagine if you were to get in like at $2 and it ramped up to like $13 and you got out there? I definitely feel like the company will run back up, right? It can't stay at this low bottom when you know that it's taking orders in the Bay Area, in Arizona, because in the concentrated cities, eventually people will want smaller, compact cars. If you're a point A to point B type of person where you don't really care so much about having like a fancy car, where you just want to just drive yourself. I mean, it's a 1-seater. It also has like various products, a performance car and another brand car. But Solo is its main focus now, right? I mean, having a low depreciation value, low cost electric vehicle company, and very small space vehicle, that can definitely change the perspective. And say if you were like driving this, you'll get so many people looking at this car in the long run. So definitely undervalued when we're looking at a 3-month date range here. Okay, so SNDL. Okay, so definitely we did cover Sundial Grovers previously, but just going to say that it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when with Sundial. It will pop back up, but if you want further details, you can see the deep dive analysis of Sundial after this live chat. But just to summarize though, Sundial Growers, it's undervalued at this time. The fact that cannabis is the name of the game, it will run back up. So that's my takeaway with Sundial Growers, the Canadian-based company. So would be interested in your thoughts on American Airlines. I've been a shareholder for some time now, and I feel they are underrepresented. Definitely. I mean, I was a shareholder of American Airlines too at the time when before COVID hit, and I took a loss at 50%. I mean, if you were to get in like at $8 March 2020, where it's at now at $24, $23, you gain back up. It will ramp back up in the mid 30s, I would say. So just keep holding long term, because people are going to be flying out, and airlines, the fact that it took the highest risk early on because of COVID, it will gain its valuation and its share price coming very soon. So it's just a matter of the money flowing into different sectors. So Nani, thanks for your question about Zomedica. We did cover that as well. I mean, it may reach like a floor of like 160 based on the bears involved right now. We can't time whether, March 29th specifically, True Forma release, commercialized, the share price will ramp up. Um, but definitely, I would say in Q2, Q3, you'll see some huge run-ups with True Forma, especially with Zomedica. In that arena, you don't have too many competitors. There's only like IDXX competitor that has another similar product, but it's an oligopoly market, and that's what I'm just forecasting. Zomedica will continue to run up, but it would have been great if you got in that 6 cents when I recommended it back in 2020. 6 7 cents, and it ran all the way up to 280. You could basically retire now. So I hope that helps answer your question. Hey Albert, cycle board. Okay, a two-wheel in front scooter, Newport Beach. They have a patent now. It's private. Oh wow. Okay, that's huge, because we know like like e-bikes and e-motors and all that. That's huge right now. But let me go ahead and type in cycle board and see if anything pulls up. Okay, if you can leave the ticker, then we can definitely look at it. Um, but hey, so it's great to see another SKYE investor here. I mean, with Goldman being part of Stanford, and I know that there's some connection there, but thank you for sharing that info. Would love to hear the ticker name on the cycle board. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and share is a company that's based out in Santa Clara, and it's a growth company. I mean, it's well established at like 620 million market cap, but it's definitely going to be in the billions very soon. Currently undervalued, I would say, at $12. At the time when it dropped to like $8, it ramped all the way back up to like $14. Let's look at a 3-year range here. Neo4 Photonics, they're a semiconductor company. You think of like Cat5 wires. You look at like different wires for information technology in the IT space. Well, Neo4 Photonics, they have the new technology with its semiconductor. They're making the high-end quality products that's differentiated. If you look at the percentage held by institutions, 84%. So the risk is quite low. Companies have high conviction in this company based out in Santa Clara. I mean, I actually drive around. I pass by this company as well, and I have firm belief that this small cap company will ramp up. I mean, you look at the Smart Score, it has a 10 rating here. Neo4 Photonics announces demonstration of 400 gigabytes per second transmission over 800 kilometer in a 75 gigahertz space DWDM system by its QSF PDD pluggable coherent module. There you go. They're able to like demonstrate 400 gigabytes transmission within a specific duration. So let's not lose sight of what the Neo4 Photonics can do for you, similar to like Okta, right? What's the ticker again? But I'll skip that since I don't have the ticker name here. Next up, I wanted to share with you is Nano Dimensions. We've heard about this ticker, right, for quite some time now, and looking at a 3-year range, I mean, July at one point got up to like $22. 52-week range was from 51 cents to $17, so it dropped more than like 50% of its share price valuation already. It was at one point, hovering at like $18 January, February, and it's been trending downward. Definitely undervalued, and it can definitely run. I mean, the Smart Score rating is at around a 7. Let's say if you are considering investing in companies in the information technology space, NNDM can grow, and the fact that it's dropped off more than 50% from its high, something to look at and consider. So that's my take. Hey, thank you so much, Nani. I mean, thank you for being part of the Quack Gang's Geek Squad here. I mean, we all here are just trying to gain on positive proceeds and lead with a growth mindset, with altruism. That's what's key, right? I mean, it's not about gaining on money all the time, because at the end of the day, we're all going to pass away at one point in our times, but it's how we can share information, how we can add value to others, so that we can build on that financial freedom, so that we can share information and feel good about ourselves, right? Versus, intra-selves. So thank you for, joining the channel, and I appreciate you making note of that with the analysis that I'm able to provide. But it all comes from you all too, it's not just me, but, I'm just driving this channel forward, and it's great to see people share information. So Albert, I'd love to see a photo. I mean, if you can, share any more input on the board. I mean, from the patent from Newport Beach. I mean, I remember just going around Newport Beach, Newport Pier. There's a donut shop there. I mean, that's one of my buddies' donut shop that he owns off of the Newport Beach, since I had gone to UC Irvine, not too far from Newport Beach. I actually saw Kobe Bryant at one point in time working out in the gym at UC Irvine. So it's just great place to be at. I mean, Newport Beach is a high quality city. I mean, standard of living is great out there. And, hearing that there's a patent on a cycle board scooter, that's huge. And a two-wheel scooter in the front, that gives that stability, low risk, I would say. At least for those who want to, drive around with an eco-friendly sustainability mindset. Okay, so that's NNDM. Next up, I wanted to share with you is Ascent Solar Technologies. Okay, so this is a semiconductor company that's in the OTC market. It ramped up close to like 9 cents, and it's hovering at 3 cents here. This company can grow in the long term. I like its CEO. I mean, the CEO has so much experience in Singapore, and we know Singapore is like one of the leading Asian countries with top high-end technology, and their standard of living is like very high. It kind of reminds me of like Japan, but with Singapore, we know that it's a blend of different racial ethnicities focused on just trying to build on growth, technology, building on just the environment, and just knowing that the CEO has experience in Singapore, I have high conviction that that culture is built into this semiconductor aerospace company focused on solar production in aerospace. It has a number of patents, like around 200, I believe, and from a share price standpoint at 3 cents, what if it reaches like 50 cents later in the long run? So that's my takeaway with Ascent Solar Technologies. Hey, Noose. Thank you so much, man. I value your insights, your input. You're a great friend that I have. So thanks for always, following through and just sharing information. You're like a big brother to me. Any more thoughts on MMEX? Let's take a look. All right, so MMEX is in the oil gas consumables market. It's in the OTC. It's got so much volume here. I mean, at like 1 billion, right? 38 million market cap. At one point, it got close to like 2 cents. So if it goes up to its prior resistance of like 2 cents potentially, you're gaining on like a factor of like 2,000% gains. If you get up back to this high point peak here. So it's dropped more than 60% over weeks. So definitely undervalued. I mean, there's a reason why people are trading this company here. I don't know the specifics, but if this company has product differentiation or service differentiation, take a long-term hold. It can add value in the long term. That's my takeaway. Hi, Bar. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. So I hope that answers any questions you have with the MMEX. So my buddy from Albert family runs and owns the Balboa Ferry. It's very safe. If you check out Cycleboard, it will pop up. Definitely. You know, e-bikes and all that right now, it's huge, but just hearing that there's two wheels in the front, that just makes it even more customized and meets the needs of those who aren't professionals riding on like two wheels, one on the front and one on the back. So definitely something I will look at, Cycleboard. So thank you for sharing that, Albert. All right, so let's see, what other plays do I want to cover here? One company that I feel is undervalued is Carnegie Clean Energy, right? It's in the energy space. It's based out in Australia. Current share price is 0.004. It has huge volume trading today. It had like 70 million, which is considered light. 52 range is 0.001 to 5 cents, right? So we know there's that potential. Let's look at a 3-year trend chart here. So back in July of 2019, it at one point reached 3 cents. So can you imagine how much positive proceeds you'll gain once it establishes ground in the whole cent range? I know back in like 2017, it got up to like 9 cents at one point. So definitely undervalued at this time if you believe in energy plays that can add value. I like the CEO. He has like experience as chief technology officer for like 11 years before he became the CEO of this company. And just looking long term, it will have its run up, and the fact that it's working with Microsoft in partnership with them as well as Hewlett Packard, it's going to just gain in future valuation. And it has projects going on all around the world. It has support from like University of Scotland, Ireland, to support its technology, and it has product differentiation in the sense that its product line, the Cciv technology, enhances year over year to different version outputs. So it's focused on specific patented technology where it's able to generate energy from mechanical waves from the ocean. That tells you that potentially we can gain value from mechanical waves that's being produced from just ocean waves, and how can we leverage that into normal society with ocean technology to convert it into clean energy. So this is definitely a potential breakthrough technology. And back in February, insights on the wave and tidal energy global market to 2027, featuring Aqua Marine Power, Atlantis Resources, and Carnegie Wave Energy, among others. So hope that helps. And I just wanted to say that, you know, I've been on this live channel now for like an hour and 24 minutes, and I believe I covered most of the tickers, not all, but definitely most. And I will share the additional tickers in the description of the YouTube video of this live event. So once again, I just wanted to thank you all for joining today's live stream. The purpose of this channel is to add value in the sense that we're sharing information, high value growth stocks, investment stocks, and most importantly, how we can add value by building on a growth mindset, leading with altruism, right? Having that sharing mindset, because when you share information, not only to yourself, but to others, that provides dopamine activation in your brain. And by doing those kind of things, that's really going to allow for you to develop a habit that will have you feel good about yourself. And most importantly, you'll live a more healthy and uplifting, optimistic lifestyle by negating all of the negativity. And irregardless of what religion you believe in, you know, having that spiritual side as well is very important, because it allows for you to live with a purpose. Because you all got a plan for, you know, for your death, right? So most importantly, it's not about gaining so much on money, because at the end of the day, you know, your heart's going to be no longer pumping in the end. So what can you do during this limited time frame to share information and just live that life of being generous, grateful, and just living with a sense of gratitude? So that's the highlight I wanted to end with. And thank you all for joining today's live stream, and I hope you have a great morning, evening, depending on where you're located. But thank you again, and let's gain on positive proceeds. Thank you.